Alex, can you hear us?
Yep, I gotcha.
All right. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
How's your week been? Maybe give us a recap of kind of how the week has been since you won on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday night was fun. Recovery and kind of normal week, honestly. Normal comp meetings, team meetings, a little more media than normal, but it was really special to win at Richmond on a short track, get the 48 back in victory lane, and get Ally's first win. That's really, really cool.
All right. Well, we appreciate you joining us and doing a little bit more media before you head to Talladega. So we'll roll straight into questions for Alex. Friendly reminder, if you have one, please raise your hand within the Zoom platform or send us a note in the chat and we will monitor that area as well. And to kick us off with questions, we're going to head to Anton with ASN Motorsports. Go ahead, Anton.
Thanks, Amanda. Good afternoon, Alex. So my question is about Richmond. After a pit penalty and being quite far away from the leaders in the closing stage of the race, have you thought about actually ending up winning the race?
Yeah, it was a surprise to me, I guess. I mean, I knew we were really good, but really to be buried in the field twice throughout the day, to be able to come back from that pit road penalty and pass as many cars as we did. Really under green, we drove from last to third. The leaders were pretty checked out, and then got that late caution to be able to pass the 22 and the 11. Was really neat. I felt like we had a car capable of winning all day, just didn't have the track position to get up there and do it until the end.
Thank you. Wishing you all the best for this weekend.
Thanks.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Claire B. Lane. Hi, Claire.
Hello. So my question for you is, can you talk us through the interaction or the way you like it with your spotter on the racetrack, and also how having friends, people have different philosophies on friends, right? So how having friends helps, or how much it helps to be selfish these days, right?
Yeah, so spotter driver interaction on the 48 team is very sarcastic. Both of us are really sarcastic all the time, whether it's daily life, meetings, in the race car, spot. Like, neither one of us do a very good job of turning it off. It's always there. So there's a lot of that for sure. And I think having friends on the racetrack doesn't really benefit you, except for this week, going to Talladega. But I respect everybody I race with. There's a few guys in the Cup garage I would consider friends, but I'm not there to make friends. I'm there to do the best I can. And I have a pretty small circle of friends as it is. It's not just an in racing thing. It's just, I have a small group. I keep to myself and do my own thing. So, I think being selfish is definitely rewarding in the Cup Series. But this week I need all the friends I can get. So everybody be my friend and push me to the front.
With teammates to think about and Chevrolet to think about, how selfish are you allowed to be? How selfish can you be?
Oh, I think, the goal is to go win Talladega. And if you have to be selfish to do that, that's fine, as long as you win. So, we're all going to work together as much as we can. And, if we can't win, we want one of the HMS cars to be there and be winning it.
Really great to see you having some fun this week. So enjoy it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Alex Andrea. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Alex. I'm kind of curious, now that we're about 10 races deep, how you evaluate the start to the season for the 48 team and just Hendrick in general.
Yeah, I think, HMS in general has been great. I feel like about every week they've had a car that's capable of winning. Really cool to see that. The atmosphere in the company is amazing. Everybody's working really well together. A lot of new faces, and everybody's, really clicked. For us, it was a rough start to the year. Obviously, we got the pole in Daytona, crashed like 12 laps in, and from there we had some rough weeks. We had a lot of speed. but just really couldn't put races together. I felt like Bristol and Martinsville, we had cars capable of winning. Obviously didn't get the job done at either of those, broke a transmission at Bristol, and then Martinsville got crashed. So it's been rougher than we want and rougher than we wanted for Ally, but going to Richmond, we just wanted a good solid top 10 and to come out of there with a win. I think it's a good point in the year to kind of get pointed in the right direction, and hopefully we can carry that through the summer and into the playoffs.
How do you feel like Hendrick and HMS kind of stacks up against the competition right now? Do you feel like this is the organization to beat?
I think so. It might not be one specific car every week, but every week there's one of the cars that are up front. So I think we're only going to get better, just with the atmosphere and the company and everything. Everything's so positive right now. I think it's going to continue heading that direction, and it's really cool to see that. In 18, when I started there, it was a rough year. 19 started rough and got better. Last year was kind of hit and miss, and ended the year really positive, and it's good to see it carry over to this year.
Thank you.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Scott Chansey. Go ahead, Scott.
Alex, as it gets closer to Mother's Day, what are your remembrances of your mother having a big role in your racing career coming up?
Yeah, she hated it. She was not a fan when I was a kid. She, was definitely skeptical about racing as a kid, being safe, how much school I had to miss, kind of all of that. I think once she realized that it wasn't going anywhere and I was going to stick with it, she got super, super supportive and has been supportive ever since. So I remember she hated it at first, but once she realized that it wasn't going to stop, she's been extremely supportive.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Randy Kovitz. Go ahead, Randy. Randy, can you hear us? You might be on mute. Okay, while Randy figures out that, we will go to Dustin Albino. Go ahead, Dustin.
Hey, Alex, I know you won early in the year last year too, but how important is it to get that victory, the first one of the year, pretty early in the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a stress reliever, but you want to win each and every week. So there's a lot more races that we're going after here. Last year we won early, then kind of fell off through the summer months, and I think that's something we really want to avoid this year. We want to stay strong all year long and have good playoff points to fall back on in the playoffs. We put together one of the best playoff runs of anybody last year and still ended up 6th in points just because we didn't have the playoff points to fall back on. So want to do a better job of that throughout the summer, but it's definitely good to have a win early.
Thank you, Alex.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Michael Sheldon. Go ahead, Michael.
Thank you very much. Well, Alex, you've traditionally performed well in this particular race, the Geico 500 at Talladega. You finished 8th in 2018, and then you were the runner-up in 2019, and then 7th last season. So what do you think is the key to navigating a difficult track the size of Talladega, and when to know when to make your move and when to stay patient?
Yeah, really the key is just surviving, right? You got to be there at the end. It's really hard to do at super speedways these days. Everybody's just continually getting more aggressive, continually feeling like they can throw huge blocks and not cause crashes and push each other really aggressively and not crash. And surprise, we crash a lot. So it's tough to make it to the end. I think, knowing when to be aggressive is key. That's different each and every speedway race. It kind of has a flow to how the race goes, and it's kind of a guessing game to a point. I feel like there are definitely some guys that have it a little more scienced out than I do, but just got to do what we can to survive to the end and be aggressive when it counts.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Edgar Thompson. Go ahead, Edgar.
Yeah, hey, thanks for doing this, Alex.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Johnson, knowing what you know about Jimmy, what are your expectations of what he's doing now? I mean, he's just jumped in with both feet into the Indy scene, and I talked to him, and obviously there's a learning curve there, but what do you expect from him there?
To be honest with you, I expect him to have a lot of fun. Probably bring a lot of new eyes to IndyCar, you know, and make the most of his opportunity. I feel like, you know, putting an expectation on finishing position and stuff like that isn't really fair to a guy that got, you know, 2 test days and then went racing and you know, the hardest open wheel series in America. So you know, it's really cool to see him do that and see him trying something new. You know, never having driven anything like that, going into a car with so much downforce, you know, some really technical racetracks that he's never seen before. You know, I think it's hard to put a finishing position goal on that. You know, I think by the end of the year, you're going to see improvement all year long. He's going to continue to get better and better and learn the race cars, learn the racetracks. But I think the biggest thing you're going to see is he's going to have a lot of fun with it. And probably there's going to be nobody in the garage area happier to be there than he is.
Great answer. Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Ashley McCubbin. Go ahead, Ashley.
Hey, Alex, thanks for your time today. I want to go back to the short track last weekend and with the win. You mentioned you drive the tracks a lot different than your teammates, and it makes it set up a little more interesting. Talk about how is your driving style different than your teammates, but then also how much of a confidence boost is it to see the speed that you guys showed?
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we all have different backgrounds, right? Like Chase grew up racing super late models. William grew up iRacing and then, you know, quickly into late models and then Xfinity and all that. Kyle grew up somewhat similar to me. You know, he raced a lot of sprint car stuff, whereas I raced the midget stuff more. But yeah, I mean, I think it just makes us all drive different. When we go to short tracks, we all kind of point to Chase. He's been the most successful lately, and Chase and I have really different driving styles at the short tracks. So it's hard for us when we have one car that's really successful there, and we've kind of struggled to go a different direction. But it's something that, you know, I felt like Greg realized we needed to do. I was never going to be able to copy Chase's driving style, and it's worked out here recently. So appreciative of him, you know, sticking with me and knowing that I ask a lot out of the race car at the short tracks and want different things than most. But, you know, we've been able to figure out how to make it work.
And I apologize if this was asked, but now that you guys have got the win and you're basically essentially in the playoffs, what's that focus now as we head towards September, October?
Really just winning more races, staying, you know, consistently up front through the summer months, something that we've struggled to do the last 2 years. Really, we've fallen off through the summer. So we want to continue to be as strong as we are right now and win more races before the playoffs start.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ashley. All right, Randy, are you ready to ask your question? All right, we will move to Lee Spencer. Go ahead, Lee.
Thank you, and thanks. Just wondering how much the luck factors for you at Talladega, because you just have one top 5 finish there, and I know the track, you know, you hear all the time the track can be a crapshoot, but how much in your experience has luck kind of played into your results?
Well, I think you definitely make your own luck to a point. I feel like, you know, we've crashed out of a lot of super speedway races. Daytona, we were like 12 laps in and leading the top line, minding my own business, and got cleaned out. So, you know, luck is definitely a factor, but there are also guys that consistently seem to avoid those situations and consistently seem to be up front at the end of those races. So I got to figure out how to do that and do a better job of doing that. But it's definitely part of it. But to a point, you make your own luck.
And how much have you relied on Kevin over the years as far as kind of guiding your way? I mean, I know there are times when he doesn't have time to react, but that, that being said, how much do you rely on his, navigation for you?
Yeah, I mean, a ton. The Cup cars, you can't see a whole heck of a lot out of them. So your spotter's really all you got, painting a picture of what's around you. And I think he does a really good job of giving me what I need. I feel like we've gotten continuously better at knowing what each other wants and needs in communication. And he's done a great job. So I rely on him a ton. I think, every Cup guy is relying on their spotter a ton. And yeah, he's going to go through some radio batteries this weekend for sure.
And CJ Leary, what's your game plan for him as far as how much interaction, how much support are you giving him, and in what disciplines?
Yeah, I mean, I think him and I are really close friends. So obviously, he drives my wing car, and he's going to keep driving the Chili Bowl stuff. Other than that, he's got his own non-wing deal, driving for Bill Michael from Arizona. So, that's their deal. But the wing deal is going okay. We've got a lot to learn. I feel like, he's just got to get comfortable in the wing car. We seem to be able to go fast and then just struggle to race. So, he just needs laps and races. And I think, by the end of the year, we can be really, really strong. We've been racing with the Outlaws and the All-Stars lately, kind of jumped in head first. So I think once we, get back to the local stuff and, he gets his feet under him and figures out how to race the air and all that, he'll be really, really strong.
Appreciate your time. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, we're going to take our next question from Cole. Go ahead, Cole.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Alex, for your time. 9 going on 10 races into this season. I'm curious what it's been like having Kyle Larson as a new teammate and what he's kind of brought to the table to better yourself and the organization as a whole.
Yeah, Kyle and I are good friends, so it's really cool to have him as a teammate. It's been a lot of fun. I feel like, he fit right in the group. Everybody's clicked really well. And he definitely is fast everywhere we go. He's very sharp on what he wants in the race car. Does a really good job of knowing exactly what he wants and kind of what he's had in past experiences too. And I think that's been really good for the team. I feel like the 4 of us are all clicking really well together. 4 crew chiefs are working really well together. Obviously Rudy is new and he's been really great too. So it's cool to see all the new faces and kind of people that have moved around at HMS, all clicking really well right now.
And then real quick, what does it mean for you to put the 48 back in victory lane after almost 4 years and kind of starting to build that new legacy for that number?
Yeah, it's really special. It's a similar thing that I went through in the 88, and it's cool to do it again in the 48 and put it back in victory lane. We want to win a lot more. There's some high expectations to live up to driving the 48 car, but to get it back in victory lane, get Ally their first win, it's really special.
Thank you. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
All right. And then also, Alex, we had a question from Bob Pockris, who's currently on an airplane. So I'm going to read Bob's question for you. How does going from the brink of the playoff cutoff a week ago to now having a win change the vibe of the team going into the next few months?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, last week I couldn't have told you where we were in points. I wasn't thinking about that or worried about that. I knew it wasn't good. We had a rough start to the season, but I felt like if we run how we should run and finish how we run, we could make the playoffs and win races. So, the vibe for the rest of the season is just to keep it turned on through the summer months. It's something that we've struggled to do as a team throughout the last couple of years. So, we gotta run strong each and every week for the rest of the year. I feel like, we magically turned it on for the playoffs last year and went on probably the best streak of my career as far as how strong we were each and every week. But we need to do that for the entire rest of the year to come away with what I feel like we're capable of doing.
All right, and then one additional question here from Randy Kovitz. I'm going to read Randy's question for you. And his question for you is related to Chase Elliott as your teammate and what you've learned from Chase and what you think makes Chase a great champion and the most popular driver.
Yeah, I think having Chase as a teammate's really cool too. You know, I feel like all my teammates are pretty great in their own way, but you know, Chase is definitely, you know, he approaches things a little differently. You know, he doesn't live here. He just kind of does things a little different. So it's cool to see him be so successful. I think he's a great champion for the sport, for a lot of reasons. I think, you know, it's been a while since such a popular guy has won the championship. You know, so for him to do that is obviously really popular. People love him. People just absolutely love that guy. I guess I don't really know exactly what makes that be the case. You know, Chase is a great guy and I really enjoy being around him. I don't know what parts or pieces makes somebody so popular, but he definitely is, and it's really cool to see.
All right. Well, Alex, thank you again for joining us. We hope you've had a great week of celebrating, but we know much of the focus will turn to Talladega this weekend. So we appreciate you spending some extra time with us and we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, thanks guys. Have a good one.